Sue Taylor, and I feel like I'm Save Our County, that I'm here to defend the culture and community of Placerville. One, when I looked at this item, I wondered, it seems that it's a CAO-driven project. I never saw a discussion from the board unless it's somewhere I didn't see it. So I'm wondering how this ever came to be on the agenda in the first place, because if you look at the 2 previous years we adopted these options, it was on the consent calendar. So I don't see where the board actually directed anybody to put this item on the agenda. The other issue on that is this takes a 4/5 vote to approve this, and when you look at last year's option, there was only 3 votes that approved this option. So I'm wondering how having this option is even legal right now. Number 3, I agree that swapping these projects is putting the cart before the horse. The state court is offering in their EIR an alternative 2 as a superior alternative for this project. It's a smaller courthouse, and if it could be built that would retain the existing historical courthouse, why not take this better option? The alternative 2 option would not require a land swap. So I'm kind of asking, I just feel like the public is constantly being in a position to be the enemy of these projects, when all we're asking for is to follow the rules that you have on the books and work with the public. You could do a much better project. You could retain the historic building that they have downtown that is the economic driver of so much that happens down there, and not put this massive building. The parcel that's being proposed to go on by the board and it seems like the city and everybody's promoting this, it's going to require 85% of that land to be graded. It's going to require a massive retaining wall and a huge 88,000 square foot building right as you're coming into the face of Placerville. I don't know if you can envision that, but that's pretty massive. And the EIR says this is not going to cause a visual blight on the scenic corridor, because it's not really on the scenic corridor. Not that it's not going to create visual blight, it's just not on the scenic corridor. So you go through these reports, they manipulate the facts so public doesn't understand what they're reading, and it's up to you to really defend the culture that we have in this county and the city. So last, I would encourage the smaller building. Let me read you just a couple of little things real quick. The land transfer described in Chapter 2, project description, would not occur. Instead, the Judicial Council, this is from the alternatives for the EIR, would purchase the courthouse property from El Dorado County. The Judicial Council would vacate its office space in Building C, but would retain use and control of the Main Street courthouse. So it's basically saying that I read the wrong thing. But you're not going to, you would retain the Main Street courthouse, and you wouldn't swap properties. The other marker I have real quick is the city has regulations and rules in its policies, and it says the city will encourage all public and private efforts to preserve and promote Placerville's historic heritage for economic benefits associated with increasing tourist trade. Keeping that courthouse is not only important for tourism, but also for the local. We're down there all the time working on our building on Main Street. People are there 24/7, and that's actually why I brought this really cool relic from underneath the building. I was really excited that I found this one. It's we're finding some bottles under there, and what's significant about this one, it's not from the 1800s. A lot of our bottles are, but this one, it's the only unbroken Coke bottle that I could find under the building, and stamped on the bottom it says Placerville. That means it was actually made in Placerville. So to me this has a lot of significance, and people are excited about this stuff. We get it 24/7 in front of our building. We're working on the inside, and we hear all kinds of stories right outside our wall, and they're kind of funny, some of them, but people love downtown and the vibrancy. It's getting so busy. It's taken a long time for that to come back, and I hate to see an action that this board takes would cause that to be lost again. So I know I'm going to miss something here, but I know my time's almost up. So I would ask that you protect the culture of the city of Placerville and have an open mind about working with something less impacting than this massive courthouse with and take a time out and work with the people and get outside of this office and go talk to the people on Main Street and check it out. Thank you.
Is there any, thank you, Ms. Taylor. Any further public comment on this item?